Hello my dear audience. This video is about a house on a spectacular location. It's placed in the curve of a road, so it's easily visible from the street, but the hillside climbs so vertically that the house is towering high above your head. From below the street, the house has a futuristic and strange appearance. It's only accessible through a driveway that is so steep that you need steps if you want to walk towards the top. This driveway makes a sharp curve and then goes under the house, where it ends at a small terrace. From here you can see that the entire house is elevated above the ground level, and you can park your car under the house. To understand the layout of this house, we first need to take a look at the floor plan. We remove the main house and show only the space underneath. The first floor consists of only a carport with a tool shed and an outdoor sitting area with a fireplace. Directly behind the front door is a stair that leads to the actual house on a higher floor level. The main living space consists of a large living room with an open kitchen and a balcony. At the rear are two bedrooms with adjacent bathrooms, and above the central staircase is a large skylight. Now, why was the house elevated? Originally, the building space below the house was sloping, but the owners leveled the ground and the driveway was dug out of the hillside. To prevent landslides, they constructed a terrace-like structure with retaining walls. After years of preparations, they contacted John Lautner, and to their own surprise, Lautner was very displeased with the leveled part of the hillside. Namely, Lautner was an organic architect who believed that architecture shouldn't interfere with the landscape, so he was convinced that the hill should have remained unchanged. By elevating the home free of the ground, it was possible to design a house that looked very different than the flat building space underneath. This gave John Lautner the opportunity to restore the irregular pattern of the hillside. The organic principles are also the motivation behind the shape of the house. Because the hillside is trapezoidal, and organic architecture always mimics the shape of nature. Also, the elevation made it possible to place the utility parts, like the carport, toolshed and driveway, under the house, creating a living space that makes maximum use of the available building ground. This building ground was confined by the descent of the hillside from three sides. In the rear it was again confined, but then by the neighboring house, placed higher on the hill. The limited building space has been used so optimally that the balcony even cantilevers over the driveway and edge of the hill. And by placing the staircase in the middle, the living room looks out over the landscape in three directions. A funny design element is that the trapezoidal and triangular shapes reappear multiple times in different dimensions throughout the different parts of the floor plan. Let's now walk through the house. We start at the outdoor fireplace. One of the great benefits of the elevated structure is a large terrace with a lot of shadow that is placed under the house. Without the elevation, there simply wouldn't be enough space for such a terrace. Here you see one of the concrete balusters that is supporting the main house. The higher floor level is supported furthermore by the concrete chimney that is covered with rock stones, then the concrete wall that separates the carport from the terrace, two thin steel pillars in the front, and finally the concrete walls of the tool shed. The second floor is made of a steel skeleton with wooden roof plates, which is very light in weight, while it safely rests on a strong concrete construction underneath. The hallway is made of frameless glass, making it very transparent, with a sliding front door almost invisible. Underneath the floating stair is a planter that is partly internal but also continues at the other side of the glass, blurring the verge between inside and outside. We step through the front door and climb over the beautiful open stair. Halfway the stair, you can see both floor levels at the same time. Placed in the center of the floor plan, the staircase forms the heart of the house, dividing the living space in different parts and giving the small house a feeling of graciousness and grandeur. There is no lowered ceiling, and from the living room you look directly at the wooden roof. The roof plates are supported by 4 very thick steel beams that come together in the skylight at the highest point of the roof. A custom-made couch is placed against the balustrade of the staircase. Interesting is that the staircase somewhat functions as an internal wall, dividing the living room in different parts while still maintaining the large open space. Left from the staircase is the dining area, while at the right is a small sitting area with a more enclosed character. In front of the staircase is a second sitting area with a more open and large character, centered around a fireplace that is located in line with the other fireplace underneath. From the second sitting area, you can step on the balcony and enjoy the beautiful landscape. There are 2 ways to enter the balcony, through the sliding doors or through a smaller door near the backside of the chimney. Through the dining area, we walk towards the open kitchen, which has a bar and is placed in the same space as the living room. Here you see the kitchen from the other side. The bedroom section is separated from the rest of the house by a wall at the staircase, forming a corridor in front of the bedrooms. Because this wall doesn't reach to the top, the corridor is still illuminated by the skylight. The bedroom has large horizontal windows that look out over the Hollywood Hills. At the outside of the windows, we see a series of aluminium panels. To reduce the weight of the elevated house, the walls had to be made for the majority out of glass. This provided beautiful views over the landscape, but in some other moments you want more privacy. By placing rotatable panels in front of the windows, you can switch the character of the house from transparent into enclosed in just a matter of seconds. And other than just ordinary curtains, the panels can protect the windows against the heat of the burning sun. The panels are attached to a rod, and by pulling this handle, you can rotate all the panels at the same time. For weight reduction, the aluminium plates are corrugated and perforated. John Lautner later used similar panels in the Silvertop house, but this time they were made of wood and operated by remote control. With its many rectangles, straight lines, white colors and extensive use of steel and concrete, the house looks more like an example from the international style than a design of organic architecture, making it very uncommon for a John Lautner home. Yet, at the same time, the daring hillside location, trapezoidal shape, and strong interaction between inside and outside make it very representative for John Lautner on the other hand. The interesting combination of typical and atypical for Lautner makes the Zahn House a unique piece in Lautner's wonderful body of work.